Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Tyler Vann Show. Coming off a big week of homecoming and all the stuff that happened, Coach. Emotional football game, a real ride for the team. Came up a little short in the end, but I, I think the few years we've been doing this, I got more text feedback from parents of both schools with the same comments on there. Two very good football teams playing a very good football game.
Yeah, we come up on the short end there. They're a good football team. We knew that going into the game. We made too many mistakes to be able to win the football game and overcome those mistakes. So I was really proud of the way we competed in the game. I get really frustrated when I hear people talk about or hear the saying that we got out hustled or out. They out competed. They didn't compete harder than we competed. I promise you, we played hard as we could play. It wasn't a lack of effort by any means. Since I've been here, I can tell you for 100% fact, we've never lost a game because it was a lack of effort. These guys are going to play hard. It was just a lack of execution. So, but it's very frustrating to hear that because that's not the case. It was just a lack of execution on the defense side of the football in some instances that we were aligned right. We just didn't get our eyes right. So we're going to get that both sides. And that's something we try to harp on all the time. But we just didn't do a good job of it Friday night. I don't know if it was wasn't locked in enough or what it was, but it's something we know we got to get fixed. It's something to learn from. It ain't like they're a good football team and they made the plays to win the football game, and we did not. It ain't taking nothing away from Pisgah. They did their job. We did not. And, a lot of that is their credit. Coach Gilbert did a good job calling an offensive game plan. But again, I thought we were in positions to make plays at times. We just didn't end up with our eyes right, and that cost us. But thought the game, both teams competed very well, and I liked the effort because when I left the game on Friday night, I was really sick. But when you turn on the film, there wasn't because guys was jogging around and not hustling the football. We just didn't do a good job when we got to the football, and we didn't do a good job pre-snap. So we got a lot we got to get better at. Hopefully, we learn from it, and we try to find a way to take it out on the next 5 guaranteed games that we have, and just find a way to get better because our goals are still intact. So, but it was a good football game. I just wish we could have made the plays to win it.
Coach, and I get Coach Pruitt's been on RiverCity-Media, and there's been Pisgah players on here. When you get that kind of compliment from the other side, it's hard to believe that then you hear that noise of the kids didn't play hard. I can't tell you how many parents text me and complimented the effort from the Sylvania team and the kids. And I even got one parent said, we'd like to make it about Coach Vann and Coach Pruitt, but it's really about the young men out there playing who gave their all.
Everything they had. It was a war. One we didn't come up on and find a way to win. There was multiple opportunities for us to make plays. We just didn't make them, and there's multiple opportunities. They didn't make all their plays either, but they made more plays than we did in the game, and that was the difference in it. And offensively, you look back, I felt like there were some things we could have done differently. I could have called the game a little bit differently, and I say that after every game, even after wins. There's stuff I wish I'd have done differently. I felt like we could have threw it a little bit more, maybe in situations, but at the same time, with the rate they were scoring and how we were playing on one side of the football, I felt like it was important that we kept the clock running. And we were running the ball for a good time each time we ran it. So I felt like it was more important to stay on time with the chains. And actually, at one point, I felt like I should have caught a play action. It was actually on the drive. We got stopped and went against what I felt. And I really never do that. I don't know why I did it the other night. And that's a lot of that was on me. And more so than it was the kids. But we're all going to learn from it. Players are going to learn from it. Coaches are going to learn from it. We're going to get better from it. From my seat to the locker room, I promise you we're going to find a way to learn from it and get better. We've already started trying to get better. So really proud of the effort our guys have showed up this week with. I promise you it ain't affected us as far as how we're going to prepare. And if anything, it's made us a little sharper. So I'm excited about what we're going to do the rest of the year if we can keep preparing the right way.
Hey, Coach, and home playoff game, region championship, all in front of you next 4 weeks. And we want to bring in a couple of those players that we're lucky to have tonight. And I want to have each of you introduce yourself and your class and your position, and tell us a little bit about yourself. And we'll start with Roman. Roman, go ahead and fire us up, and then we'll follow with Townsend.
My name's Roman. I play receiver. I'm a junior. Pretty much it.
All right, Townsend.
I'm a senior. I play D tackle and tight end.
Look, let me ask y'all about Howie. I'll come to you after this question. I want to ask you about the season through first 5 games, and even this week and against Piedmont and on the road and at home. You have overwhelming support, and I want to ask you what that's like in warm-ups. What's it feel like when you look out there and you see a full home side or a full visitor side? Townsend, we'll start with you.
I mean, I love to see it. The full looking up and seeing the full homestand just makes you feel like you got to play to your best ability, and just really gets you going.
Do you ever get nervous in your warm-ups, or is it just a time to get psyched up to you?
It's normally right after warm-ups we come back in here and get ready for the game to go out officially.
All right, that sounds good. Hey, I used to get warmed up for some reason. Before warm-ups, I would get nervous, and still to this day, if I'm in the stadium and somebody's warming up, I get nervous. I don't know why. Roman, tell us a little bit about your feelings of looking up there and seeing a full crowd, and tell me about your warm-up routine and what you do to get those nerves out and when you might feel it.
I like having a full crowd, but I really just try to block it out. Just trying to focus on what I got to do, because it really don't even matter at the end. It's just what we got to do. So I just try to block it out, really. That's really it.
Roman, Howie, I'm sorry, one quick question. What was the emotion of homecoming like for both of you? Because that's a special night still yet. A lot of players back, a lot of fans back. Roman, do you think about it during the week, or is it something you just try to set aside for that week and play football?
Like Coach Vann said, it ain't homecoming without a football game. So, we want to win a football game. So it was a tough loss. It sucked losing on homecoming, but we just got to get better.
Townsend, same question. What's the emotions like being your senior year and knowing that your last homecoming, and not even around the football game? I know emotionally for the football game it didn't turn out, but just being a senior and being part of that school.
I mean, the loss sucked, but we just got to keep on moving forward. I mean, the emotions were really going after the game, knowing that we would never get really another chance to go back and beat them, especially it being homecoming.
Excellent. Well, not excellent, but, Coach Vann, I can say for every player that has ever stepped on here, a desire to compete has never been an issue.
No. Regardless of what anybody says, homecoming is not the reason that we didn't play well. Homecoming is not the reason for the mistakes. The bottom line, our guys showed up to prepare the right way. Did we practice well Monday through Wednesday? No, we did not practice well. A lot of that can be blamed on Coach Vann and the attitude that I showed up with as well, because I'm in a bad mood on homecoming week anyways, because there's a lot going on. But that is not to blame for any of it. We got outplayed. We got to do a better job of coaching and getting our guys ready to go. Bottom line, we got outcoached, got outplayed. It's my job to get us ready, and I need to do a better job on my end, just like we got to do a better job of making plays. So, but I'm really proud of the way we competed in the game, and there was, I ain't gonna get on, anything else. I'm gonna get myself mad, so I better stop.
All right, Howie, go ahead. And Coach, I'm telling you, I knew I take a lot from the comments of the opposing fans, and I cannot ever remember a game where I got more positive comments from the Pisgah crowd about effort, heart, and desire. So credit to you and the kids. Not the result we want, but the effort, the desire is always there. Howie, go ahead and fire it up.
Coach Vann, let's go back to your comments that you made at the beginning talking about the didn't have your eyes in the right place. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Not to pick on a position group. Just on defense, a big part of it, especially with Pisgah, is to have your eyes in the right spot pre-snap. So whether it be motion, and then obviously you have to read your keys. We get caught up too many times of not matching our route before looking in the backfield. Like with the quarterback's not going. Let's match the route that we're reading first, and then when you see eyes from the receiver, then you can give eyes if you're in position to give eyes. If not, you're in a trail position. Well, you can't give eyes. You got to catch back up. But stuff we worked, and we just maybe I'm hoping maybe it takes a loss like this to fix a lot of that mistake, because it's something we've been trying to get better at. Maybe we continue to get better at it, but it's not their fault. We had opportunities on offense to make plays. We had opportunities all over the field, multiple position groups, not one to blame. It's like I told them after the game, if you want to blame one person, it obviously needs to be me. I've got to do a better job preparing us. But as far as eyes goes, we just it's on the back end. It's stuff we try to get better at. And I think we have gotten better at it. If it would have been last year at this time, and Pisgah was as good as they were just this week last year, we'd have been in trouble now. We'd have got beat bad last year at this time, and we would have played them on the back end. I think we've gotten better on the back end. We just got to continue to get better, because I thought we took a step back Friday night, and a lot of that just has to do. You got to be locked in and ready to go. Again, all of them made a mistake at one time or another. It ain't like it's on one guy. So we're going to continue to get better, and I know they are. They're going to work hard at it. Alignment, shockingly, the alignment part of it was not terrible. We got lined up. I think we had 4 misalignment. We got lined up pretty good on time with as fast as they were moving. Just pre-snap, post-snap eyes went the wrong way. We didn't get our eyes where we needed to get them and key what we needed to key.
Hey, Howie, let me interrupt you. Coach, you made a point there I want to highlight. The loss is horrible and we hate it for everybody, but you almost alluded it to what I was going to talk about later, and that's after a game like that becomes teachable moments, and maybe for the coaching staff and everybody, it becomes where you can work a little more on detail. Has this week been detailed, those little small things, maybe more than a normal week?
We're practicing close, to be honest with you, a little similar. We work a little bit more tackle than we have been. Not much more, because it's not a lack. Again, it's not a lack of being physical. It's not a lack of effort. But sometimes you learn a little bit better after a loss. We have stuff we have to fix after wins. I mean, we're 4-1. After the 4 wins, we still have a lot we need to fix. But a lot of times after a loss, it really hits home that, hey, we better fix this. So I'm hoping that's the case. And they say you can get beat any Friday night. And that's probably one of the best offenses we've played so far, if not the best. Especially skill group. And I told them that last week. This may not be a single best skill we've seen, because Ish at Piedmont's really good. Carlos Mann's really good. Pinto at Piedmont's really good. We played some really good skill guys. But as far as an overall group, 1 through 5, all of them, it's probably one of the best groups we played, if not the best. I think it is the best. So we just got to do better, man. We just got to do better.
Howie?
Yeah, Coach, kind of piggybacking on what Randall said there. After a loss, you do a lot of learning. Even after wins, you learn a lot as well. If I've heard coaches say, if you don't learn after a game, you're getting complacent and you're kind of plateauing off some. Do you believe in that as well?
Yeah, that's the second you get complacent, second you don't get any better. I really don't think that was the case. I just think, again, we weren't as locked in as we needed to be for some reason or another. We come off 3 really big games back to back, and I do think our guys are ready to go in this game. Again, we competed well. If we'd have come out flat, not ready to compete, would have been down 21-0. It wasn't that. It was just again, we made mistakes that we shouldn't have made, and they capitalized, and they didn't make as many mistakes, and they made the plays. Listen, we had chances to get off the field. They did a really good job. Mason Holcomb did a really good job throwing the football. Their guys did a really good job running and catching it. There was times where we was in the position to make a play and they just made it. But you know, at the end of the day, they deserve credit. They made plays.
Absolutely.
There's also a lot that we need to get better at if we want to win the games that we want to win later down the road. Even coming up, we've got to get a lot better. But we don't play a team that's just going to spread it out and throw it around as much until later. So if we want, I think Westbrook's probably the next team that's really going to air it out. So we're going to get better. You know, if we're going to be able to compete with those teams on the defense side, we've got to get better every week.
Yeah, I wasn't meaning just after this game. I meant just any game in general, as far as being complacent. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the game. I was in the concession stand. So, but anyway,
there's a lot of superstitions now that got broke this week. Just so everybody has that clear, I'm a little superstitious. How we didn't keep stats for us.
Coach, do you know how much I heard that Friday night from the band when we got back to the band room? Do you know how much? You realize how much blame I got from the band?
Coach Monroe wasn't in the box. Coach Duncan wasn't there on the sideline because he was at the beach, and Monroe was on vacation. I mean, there were so many things that was out of whack there. If you're superstitious, I can point to it, but that ain't the reason. I just thought I'd point it out to you.
First text I got. Please tell me how he wasn't in the band room. That's the first text I got after the game. So there you go, Howie.
Yeah, man. Jeannie told me after the game, she said, everybody blames you. You're not allowed to work the concession stand no more.
But we saved you. You ain't got to go back and work for 4 quarters.
That sounds good to me. All right, Roman and Drennan. Randy touched on it as far as the crowd being there. A huge crowd Friday night from what I saw. I got there at 5 o'clock. Pisgah probably had about 100 people, 50 to 100 people in the stands already. Sylvania side was building up. How does it feel when you come out before you even really do your warm-ups? How did it feel just seeing that big of a crowd there already? 2 hours before the game started. Go ahead, Drennan.
You just don't. Sometimes you don't expect it, especially this year. We've had bigger crowds than we've ever had, and it just sometimes you don't expect it, and we just gotta kind of forget it. It also makes you feel good at the same time.
Roman?
It's definitely like a surreal feeling, but like I said, I just try to block it out. Just try to focus. So I don't want to get just looking at the crowd because they really don't matter. I mean, they're there to support us, but I'd rather be focused up.
So I'm going to ask you, Roman, and if you don't want to answer, I understand, but you try to block it out. What do you think of instead of the crowd?
Just what I got to do. Just focusing on football.
I know I wasn't able to talk to you, but after the game against Geraldine, you had some pretty dang good catches. How does it feel to make I don't know. I didn't play football, but how does it feel to make there you made a one-handed catch at one time? How does it feel getting up and realizing you made a great catch to help your team out?
It feels really good. I mean, I got hurt last year and didn't get to play a lot. So coming back this year, it feels good just making plays. And I just want to help the team out and just, ultimately win at the end. So
let's go back to your first game this year after missing most of last year. How did it feel getting back out on the field?
It was great. I couldn't stay. I hate watching it from the sideline. I hate it. I hated being out. It was just – it's so – I was really grateful to get back this year and be healthy.
If I'm mistaken, you had your surgery then showed up for one of the games last year that same night, right?
It was the Westbrook game last year.
I was thinking it was because you came rolling in on, I think, a wheelchair there, and nobody was expecting to see you, and there you was. That's dedication right there. Drennan, let me ask you, you're one of the few people that we've had on here that goes both ways, offense and defense. How did you manage that?
I play both ways, but I don't do nothing compared to Ashton. We have 12 personnel, and I go in on 12 person and defense. I rotate sometimes, but I ain't in as much as Leo or Ashton on offense.
Yeah, well, Ashton's like 4 people building one, so we don't really count him as going both ways, one way.
There's 2 personalities, definitely. So that starts there. So that's 2 different people. And then we don't know how many's up there yet. So we're still working on that.
Yeah, I think Randy asked somebody this last week. I asked you, Drennan. How is it in that defensive huddle with Ashton and Aspen both being on there?
It's Aspen's kind of screaming at you sometimes. I mean, it is. It's just Aspen, and then Ashton just if he jumps off sides, we all kind of just shake it off. So whatever.
Did he jump off sides Friday night?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he did. Okay. Well, he's 5 for 5 this year, I think, ain't he, Coach?
I'd hard count every play.
Go ahead, Randy.
I think we ought to get all the highlights if he's back on here. Hey, I want to go up to Roman and Townsend for just a second. I think the one thing that's important to me for you to realize, we're talking about the crowd, though, that's your hard work that puts them there. So don't sell yourself short. Tell me how much work and playing for Coach Vann. How hard do you work playing for Coach Vann?
I mean, summers is where it starts. The summers are really rough, but if you show up on time and just get over it, get through it, man, it's going to be okay. Like, everything's going to be good. It's definitely a lot of work to play for Coach Vann.
But Townsend, he does like to keep practice to a tight time frame. Is that a nice feeling? Even though he's going to work you hard, it's over in X number of hours.
I mean, it's a tight time frame, but we go fast, so it's like conditioning all practice. So.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. Hey, Coach, don't want to leave Pisgah behind. And, again, they deserve all the credit in the world. But you did have a lead late, and your team played well. But the next 4 weeks, we line up in region play. And that first show we did back in August this year, you said number one goal was to get a region championship. All that's still ahead of you. So the first 5 weeks has been really a grind, but you've got 4 region games in a row. And how big are those goals in front of you right now?
We talked this week. We're excited. I mean, we got to be excited about it. We've taken care of business up to this point. Regardless of this past Friday night, we need to take it, learn from it, and move on and find a way to win game by game, day by day, and get better. Because all of our goals are out there. You don't want to waste a year because you don't sit here and pout over a loss. All that did was run a perfect season. We can't get that back. We get that. So let's get over it. Let's learn from it, and don't let it turn into 2 losses. Don't let it turn into a hangover this week and even start out slow or whatever it may be. Let's just go ahead and get over it, get better, and move on and win game by game. And hopefully in a few weeks we can look up and win a region championship. That's the goal we want right now, is to win a region championship. So it's out there. We just got to go day by day and get better. We got to walk through in the morning and we'll get better tomorrow, and then we can move on and get ready for Glencoe on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's a short week too. Thursday night, did that change your? I know Monday still had to be your install day. Today still had to be your prep day. What gets cut? Wednesday walkthrough, Wednesday practice, or do you? I mean, you got to get the kids off their feet at some point.
Yeah, actually, the last 2 days have been a little longer. We was in film yesterday, like a normal Monday, and then we went out there and did a Tuesday practice, and then today we did a Wednesday practice. And for some reason, we was out there 2 hours and 5 minutes today, but even Drennan will tell you, felt like we was out there 4 hours. I don't know what it was today. I think it was because it was back-to-back days where we were out there a little bit longer. I think yesterday made it feel longer because we was here at the facility so long. We did 30 minutes of film, then we went out there and did a Tuesday practice. But we just needed to get the stuff in leading up to Glencoe. We'll do a walkthrough in the morning, get off our feet, and get ready to go. But I was really pleased with how the guys have responded and competed in practice. Up-tempo stuff. The energy's been a lot better this week. So I'm excited to see how we respond on Thursday.
I'm going to use a Coach Saban quote here, and I am the Tennessee graduate. But I think anybody that knows anything about football understands Coach Saban knows a little bit about football. And, of his 6 or 7 national championships, he's only had 2 perfect teams. He said sometimes in a quote, sometimes you get more chance to learn about yourself in losing than winning. Is there something to learn about yourself and how bad your team, the team personality hates losing, and just improves, makes you work a little harder, makes you work a little easier. What does it do to the team personality?
I think that's to be determined on how you take the loss like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
There's two ways you can take it. You can take it power, you can take it and get better. And from what I've seen the last 2 days, I think our guys are taking it and trying to get better. And again, it's not like we didn't lose to a bad football team.
No.
We lost to a good football team that everybody in the facility felt like we should have won. But they're good. We just didn't make the plays, and they did. They're a good football team, and they deserve the credit for how they played Friday night. It wasn't. It was more what they did and what we didn't do. As if that makes sense. We just got to do a better job of making the plays like we've been talking about. But we like I said, there's 2 ways you can take a loss like this. You can take it, pout, and let it turn into another loss, or hang over and get you an award that you should be in down the road. It can break you apart. How tight's your family? How close are you? Because when things are bad, when something bad happens, the guys that start pointing fingers, that's the selfish guys. That's the guys that don't care anything about anything you do. But the guys that try to pull you together and care about their brothers and get better, that's the family part that you got to do. Because you got to do it together. You can't do it by yourself. Pointing fingers at whose fault? My fault, their fault, your fault, whatever it is. That don't get anything fixed. That's just you being selfish and trying to make sure nobody blames it on you. But I think our guys are going to pull together and get better from it. And regardless of whose fault they think it is, it's our fault. At the end of the day, it's all of our fault together. We're a family. We lose together. We win together. I think our guys are going to do it the right way.
Coach, couldn't agree with your assessment anymore. Townsend and Roman, let me ask you, what does the team mean to you? As far as, if I was going to say, Roman, you're part of the team, what does the word team mean to you?
Family. We're all a family here, especially inside this room,
Same thing, Townsend.
We're all like brothers, especially most of us being seniors and juniors. We've played Pee Wee through the years with each other since almost 4th, 5th grade. All of us been together. It's just finally time for us all to come together.
I've left this question out the last few weeks, and I just thought about it this week. And last year I ask it every week, and I talk about it in my radio show a lot. We talked about team. I want to ask you the same question, and we'll start with Townsend. What does the word accountability mean to you?
Just so people are counting you, showing up on time, hoping that you do what you're supposed to. Having to be taken.
Never cheating that weight room or never cheating one sprint. That's very well put. Go ahead, Roman.
Accountability is like relying on your teammates, trust them. If you trust your teammate, you trust the guy beside you to do what they're going to do. That's the accountability we need. That's what I think accountability is. Just trust people.
That word, I get the most amazing answers, and both of y'all gave incredible answers. I love that. Howie, loosen those good guys up, because they got to get ready to play Glencoe this week. Ask them some Cheney questions.
Roman, you got a new wide receiver this year in Jackson Smith. How's he fit in with the wide receiver so far?
He's good. He's really fast. Him playing quarterback, he already knew all the routes and stuff. So really, he just had to learn how to get lined up and just some simple stuff. But other than that, he's doing really good.
All right, guys. One question I asked last week. Now I've been wanting to ask it for a while, and I hadn't asked it, but I did last week. But how did y'all choose your numbers that you're wearing throughout your career or this year, whichever one it may be? Drennan, go ahead and start with you.
I've switched numbers multiple times. I went from 52 at one point to switching jerseys mid-game, go to 20, and eventually put me at tight end and I just stayed 20.
That's a good number. I know me and John Sills loves that number 20, so you're doing good, buddy. Roman, how about you?
Well, before Coach Vann got here, we didn't have a number 1, so got here, we had the new jerseys, so we still didn't have a number 1, but we got these newer jerseys. He asked me if I wanted to know the number, so I just picked 1. So it's nothing really special, though. I just think it looks good.
Good deal. I know a lot of players usually takes after if their parents played ball, they try to get their number. So I didn't know. That's why I've been asking the question, just seeing if somebody's following your parents or whatever. So pregame superstitions. Do y'all have anything that you have to do before you take the field? Roman, go ahead.
I just sleep. That's all I do.
Excuse me?
I just try to relax and sleep.
Sleep. There you go. Drennan?
It's about the same. Me, Ashton, and Aspen all get in the tape room and just try to go to sleep and chill out before the game.
Hey, nothing's wrong with getting sleep when you can, guys. I understand that. Coach Vann may not want to hear that, but
That's what I did when I played. I slept. That was my favorite. That was my favorite part, was sleeping before the game. That's me. Yeah, it was me. I was that guy.
I couldn't ever sleep for some reason. I don't know. I guess I was too hyped up.
For me, didn't it, Roman?
What did you say?
I said it turned out good for me. I threw it okay on nights. I slept good for you. I'm just kidding.
Coach, you could really spin the ball back in the day.
That's what I tell them. They don't believe me.
I was fixing to ask you, have you ever showed them any of your old game film?
I hadn't showed them. They said they looked it up before, but
It's on YouTube.
Know where some is if anybody wants it. So I might be in possession of a little of it myself.
I tell Finn all the time. I told Jackson that all the time last year too. There's always a guy on the field if I'm out there that throws better than you do. That's me. It's okay.
There you go. Roman, who's your favorite teacher?
Probably Mr. Calster. She's a math teacher.
Drennan, yours?
I'd have to probably go with Miss Fox, just because her class is chill.
I'm 1 for what, 9 now? 1 for 9.
You're not even.
You're a 1 for Coach. You know, I saw Miss Fox at the band competition Saturday, and I nearly walked up and I was going to, but she got out of sight before I could ask her or talk to her. But she is one of the most popular teachers that we've had on here. And so since I had to ask her, Coach Vann, how does it feel to be one of the least popular teachers on here?
I don't know. It is what it is.
Hey, that's on Friday night when you win, though.
Roman's passed my class. If I could go back, I'd fix it.
Drennan, how about your favorite subject? Drennan?
Probably just
Football.
I don't really know.
It's not reading.
It's like English, math.
It's not English or math.
Is it reading like Griffin?
It's ag.
That's asking Ashton.
Roman, how about yours?
I like science. I don't really do any of the math stuff. I don't really like that. If I had to pick, it'd be science.
I just recalled something. If I'm not mistaken, Coach Vann said that you was going to have to sing a song during team camp or something. Did you end up singing?
I got out of it.
Would you like to do a little a verse or two here?
Way to put him on the spot, Jamie.
We're gonna put him on the spot. He finally got a girlfriend. We don't want him to lose her off.
Leave him alone.
Hey, you know what? That's something else, Coach, that I haven't realized, that none of your players have gave shout-outs to their girlfriends.
I know it.
He
will. He will. Just a little bit.
Yeah, well, that'll come later on, Roman. Last 2 questions for you both. Drennan, what's your favorite music, or what song are you listening to in your vehicle right now if we crank it up?
It usually follows Ashton's footsteps, to be honest. It's just it gets me hooked on a song, or Wade will get me hooked on a song. But if I had to guess, it's probably country right now.
All right, Roman, yours?
A lot of Zach Bryan. I'm a real big Zach Bryan fan.
Last question for y'all, too, and I'll turn you back over to Randy. Drennan, I'll start with Roman. Roman, favorite food or favorite place to eat?
Don Chico's.
Don Chico's. That's the first one that we've heard on here.
He eats there all the time. They know him, and as they save his spot and everything. Like, he's a celebrity down there.
Are they going to retire your number 1 jersey after you graduate?
Yes, if you go down there and you eat there, Howie, just tell them you know Roman. You'll get discounted.
Hey, it's across the road from where I work at. I'll try that tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah, I know Roman McKeon. There you go, discounted.
There you go. Drennan, how about you?
It's probably Toro's or McDonald's.
Now, that's one end of the spectrum to the other, going from Mexican to McDonald's. That's all right. Randy, go ahead, buddy.
Coach, do you feel like your players don't eat enough buffets? That's
No,
never.
There ain't too many buffets around. The best buffet was Ryan's. They did away with that.
I managed to find them no matter where I'm at. Coach, I started on Glencoe today. Pretty good football team. Not someone we can overlook. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen about Glencoe on film.
You know, they moved the ball really well on everybody they played. That's what I told our guys. They ran the football well. You know, they spread it out a little bit more than they did in the past. Coach Martin does a really good job at Glencoe. You know, it's just year 2 for him, and he's already starting to turn it around. You know, and he's got a bunch of basketball guys out, some athletes. So he's doing a good job recruiting always and getting it turned around down there, and he's doing a good job. So Coach is going to have his guys ready. So we have to do a really good job because, like I said, they've done a good job moving the football against everybody they play. So we have to show up ready to go on the defensive side, and then offensively we need to continue to do what we've been doing, preparing the right way and playing good up front. You know, we need to do a good job of throwing the football, catching the football, and our guys prepared the right way. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do Thursday night because, again, it's another big game in our region. You don't show up ready to play any game in our region. You put yourself in a situation where there's a game. I don't care who it is or what anybody thinks about the record or anything like that. They're good football teams in our region. If you don't show up ready to go, you're going to get beat. And you're going to look around and be in a bad spot and put yourself back where you have to rely on somebody else to do something in the region. So we're going to have to do a good job showing up ready to go.
Coach, I know this is kind of a region section of your schedule. Is there some comfort in being back in the region and just knowing that you're playing for that region? You know, you're undefeated in the region, and you know, you don't, like you said, you don't depend on anybody right now. You control your own destiny. It's almost a comfort feeling, I would think, for you.
Yeah, it's just, you know, if you prepare the right way and you do what you're supposed to and you go out there and give everything you got, play hard and execute at a higher rate than we executed last Friday night, you're going to be tough to beat, you know, and if we can find a way to win the next 4, then we're in a good spot going into the playoffs, and that's ultimately what we need to do. So excited about, like I said, excited about this week and hopefully getting back on the right track and finding a way to go 5-1.
Roman, being back in that region, and you know, when I talk to people in other media outlets, they talk about that region and how good it is. Do you take pride in playing in that region and knowing there's, you know, last year in the quarterfinals, there was you and Geraldine, and it's a region largely made up people of from Sand Mountain. Is there some pride in being in one of those regions?
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, we got one of the toughest regions. I think we got the toughest region in the north. It's a really tough region. I mean, I don't even know.
He's about to mess up, Jerry. He's about to say other than, and he stopped himself.
Like the 2A region, with the Region 5 center compared to our region, like it's just a big difference. You know, we got to be prepared like every week. Like anything can happen in the region.
Same question, Townsville. That region, you know, you play against people you've played against. You might have played Little League against or Pee Wee football. Is it ever, you know, strange to look over and someone that you might have pumped gas against 2 weeks ago is now playing on the other side of the field?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, our region's definitely pretty good. You don't show up, you can lose the game pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. One more question, and then I'm going to come to Coach Vann, and then Howie, come over to you. Roman, playing wide receiver or tight end, it's skill positions, or how much fun do you enjoy blocking as a wide receiver in an offense where you've had games you run it 48 times? Just like getting out and getting after a cornerback every now and then.
I love it. I love blocking. Blocking at receiver, it can spring big runs. It can 14-yard gain to a touchdown. That's what it can do. So that's why I take pride in blocking. Try to get Hayden freed up.
All right, Townsend. I know tight end in your offense is a little more blocking oriented, but still, it is a skill.
Bless you, Coach.
Do you ever what's your when you're on offense at tight end? How much pleasure to get pulling out on a linebacker or blocking out on a DN?
It's fun, and sometimes, especially Baylor, where just you get to go hit a linebacker. And I've had to get better because the Ohatchee game was not it. I'm slowly trying to get a little bit better at blocking to help everybody else.
Thank you. Well, Coach, tell us about these two young men. You've always given us just a clip about whoever we have on. Tell us a little something about Roman and Townsville as a football player.
Drennan's come a long ways. He was actually coming on really big last year around. It was actually this past week 5. We was really getting excited about him, especially on the D line. Even at Summit tight end last year, he ended up getting hurt this week and didn't come back the rest of the year. Broke his ankle, foot. Is it ankle or foot, Drennan? Foot. So Liz Frank, right? Mid-foot injury.
It was one of my metatarsals.
And we lost him for the year, but he's done a really good job in the offseason getting back. And he's done a good job this year, like he alluded to, blocking wise. He's done a good job getting better, fixed his stance a lot. He's starting to come off the ball a little bit better and get to the right spot. So we're really excited. And I told him, it's going to be a big part of how far we're able to go in the future is how good we can block at tight end and when he's at wide or even if he's in the backfield in the sniffer spot. Like, we've got to do a really good job of getting better. And he's done a good job. He's been good at D-line for a while now. He's pad level's getting a little bit better each week, and he does a good job of. Everybody talks about 51 and 69 on D-line, but 20 does a really good job. And he's a senior as well, so we're going to miss him. And then Roman McKeon, he plays outside receiver for us, and he talked about earlier how he got hurt Geraldine last year, and he was out for the year. So, and 5 was going to be on the 9. He's out for the year. We had a bunch out for the year last year, but Roman's done a really good job. He was actually captain last week for us. He does a good job of leading the receiver group. He's kind of the vocal guy in that group, gets everybody lined up. And does a really good job. So I wish he'd had the full season last year. And he's come a long ways this year in a short amount of time. It's tough when you miss 8 games. I mean, he actually missed more than half-count playoffs. So, but we're excited to have him back. We need to do a better job of getting the ball. We need to do a better job of getting all of them skill guys the ball. That kind of comes back on me. But, it's been a situation last 2 games where we need to keep that clock running more so against those offenses that we was playing against, but still I've got to build some trust with 3 and our receivers. I trust our receivers, and I'm trusting 3 more and more each week. And 3's gonna get better and better. But I'm gonna start putting a little bit more and more on him as the year goes, and then you'll see more guys like 1, 5, 9, 23, and all them receivers come out a little bit more as the year goes, I believe, and especially the better 3 gets as the year goes, and the more I put on him. So didn't want to throw listen 3 as the first year starter for Finn. It'd be wrong of me to throw everything on him. That's why it's very important. We have a good run game. Our offensive line's good, and that's helped 3 out a lot. He don't have a lot of pressure on him to make all the throws right now and stuff, but I want to continue to put a little bit more and more on him because that's just going to help the run game out. And we got guys out wide that we need to get the ball to. So you'll hear Roman's name more as the year goes, I'm sure.
Well, Coach, we mentioned last week that wide receiver group is maybe the unheralded group of this team, and you talked then of almost the same thing you just said. Part of your challenge the next 5 weeks is figuring out how to get all those wide receivers involved with the game.
Yeah, we've been wanting to spread it out and throw a little bit more over the last few weeks. Like I said, though, it's just not felt like the right time yet. Especially to put all that on 3 in a couple big games. I trust him, but that would be wrong of me to do that right now. I felt like, and I'm a guy that likes to go on my gut and what I feel. So, but I think over the next few weeks, I want to see 3 in the receivers do a little bit more, and it's my job to find a way to get our guys the ball. Listen, we got some guys that need the football in their hands. And 2 is a pretty stinking good one to have the football in his hands every play. 2's done a really good job over the last few weeks. I think he's averaging on the year 244 yards a game, so it's not wrong to go with 2, but we also got to exploit some things out wide that's going to help our run get out even more. So, that's part of me being a play caller and doing my job. And I think you're going to see that a little bit more over the next the rest of the year, hopefully.
I think when he called you his favorite teacher, he got 48 the next week, but I'm not counting.
He's the only one. He is the only one. And they wonder why he gets 244 yards a game. You know what I'm saying?
See why they don't see it. I don't get it, Coach.
I don't get it.
Tennessee's on a bye week, so when you go to this question this week, it's going to have to be Alabama and Texas A&M. I can't be part of that equation this week.
Does it have to be?
No. Go whatever game you want to go.
Actually, I probably will go with that. I hadn't really looked yet, but I'll find out here in a minute. But Roman, your name got in the paper. Well, your brother's name got in the paper for 100 yards receiving a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, it was you. But that's the game you had. I think 5 catches for 100 yards. So I'm wondering, once you get a touchdown this year, do you have some type of celebration you're going to do, or you're afraid Coach will get on to you?
We ain't supposed to celebrate. We'll get in trouble on the rest.
I didn't know if you might want to do the Aaron Rodgers discount double check type deal or something like that. So let me ask you guys, who's the most
trouble?
The what?
You're just trying to get him in trouble.
Hey, I know Roman. I've known Roman since he was born. I worked with his daddy when he was born, so I've known Roman since he was 1 day old. And I'm surprised your daddy hasn't sent no questions in either. That's
Deion Sanders would say if you wear number 1, you're going to have to come up with a nice dance because you have to be the dog to be number 1.
I don't celebrate like that.
So out of everybody on the team, guys, let me ask you this, and I've never asked this before, but what is one of the players on the team's kind of a secret talent that they may do around y'all, but people outside the locker room may not know? Either one of you can answer.
I'd say Tanner's been doing a really good job, especially whenever he gets double teamed and just reading.
Okay, we'll go with that. So is there?
I would say,
Coach, you answer that for us.
Yeah, I don't think they understood the question. Lefford's backflip's impressive. Ethan Manning's dancing's impressive, and Lefford can sing pretty good too.
How about Ashton's conversations with himself? Is that pretty entertaining?
Well, everybody knows about that, though.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know any more. They'll know more than that. That's just the story I know.
I hear Coach Wilson's pretty good at picking college football games, but that's just off the cuff there.
Coach Vann's good at it. Sure.
Yeah, let's go to that. Good segue there. So far on the year, guys, what I've been doing is toward the end of the thing, I've been
fans. We may have to try that out one day, John. I think with victory we could get a couple.
Have I ever signed before? That's right. Never. I don't know.
So what we've been doing is here toward the end of the show is I've been calling out games and y'all pick predictions and all that. I did it the first couple of weeks just to, kind of have a little bit of fun at it. And then all of a sudden I realized Coach Vann's taking this stuff serious. He wants to win.
I'm going to be good at it.
He's taking it really serious. So we're going to step the game up this week. We're going to allow y'all to pick 2 games this week. Overall record right now, Coach Vann, unfortunately, you're 2-2. You're at 500.
South Carolina, Spencer Rattler killed me. I mean, how do you not?
The guest pickers are 6-4 right now.
They get more picks than I do. We're doing win percentage. That's
yes,
what
sir. We're going to do win percentage, not overall, but they're 6-4. So, guys, I got 2 games for you this week, and we're going to kick it off with Roman. Roman it will be Alabama and Texas A&M. Who do you have?
Is it Alabama?
No, it's at 12th man.
It's at College Station.
I think Alabama was it, but not by much. I think it's a close game. I think Alabama will win.
Okay, before we go any further, who's your favorite college team, both of you? Drennan?
I really just go with the flow. I just like watching it. I don't really have a favorite.
Roman, yours?
I'm an Alabama fan.
Okay, so you picked Alabama. Drennan, Texas A&M, and Alabama.
I think Alabama will come through at the fourth quarter.
Coach Vann, go ahead and make it official.
Alabama big.
Randy, you want to pick?
Hey, I'm Coach Vann's partner for the rest of the year. I'm going to go the Alabama Crimson Tide bigger than people predict.
That's right. Me too.
I think the Tide rolls on A&M.
All right, now the second game I'm going to let y'all pick is LSU against Missouri. Drennan, LSU against Missouri.
I'm just going to say LSU.
All right, Roman.
I think LSU wins. They got a really good offense. So.
Coach Vann.
Where's this at?
It is at Missouri.
Missouri's not.
At Missouri. What's the point? We're picking point spread straight up.
No, it's just pick who wins. There's no money on the line, Coach Vann, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's good. I got to go with LSU, even though they gave up 700 yards.
Go ahead, Randy.
The Missouri Tigers win out loud.
I picked the Tigers. I'll change my pick.
No, I know where you're going with that one, Coach.
I'll pick the Tigers.
Eventually, you're going to have to pick against the guest pickers if you're going to get caught up. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I couldn't that game because I fell further behind, I think.
Guys, my last comments for y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Y'all could have been out with – apparently Roman's got a girlfriend. He could have been out with him or her or whatever. Whatever it may be. Hey, in today's age, you never know, guys. So appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Y'all welcome back anytime that Coach Vann will let you come back on. So thanks a lot, guys.
Back after that one.
All right, Randy, all yours.
Oh, that's a good one, Howie. All right, Roman. We always let you have the last words of the night. You give a shout out to whoever you want to give it to. And you better get this one right. So, Roman, who are we shouting out tonight?
I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Wilson. He does a lot for us. I mean, he always, we're always watching film back there at 7 a.m. meetings. So, Wilson's always trying to get us prepared for the game, and I really do respect that. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Wilson.
He's got good takes in college football teams, too. You can give more than one. You got another one?
Really, the only one I'm around is Coach Wilson all day.
You better shout out Chloe, Roman. Oh, I'm reading what John Sims put. I'm not. Who else you got besides Coach Wilson? Nobody?
I shout out Coach Vann.
All right, Coach Vann. Well,
He just automatically got 10 targets. 10 targets Thursday night. He's going to get the ball 13-10. They don't learn.
They don't.
They don't know who calls the plays, I guess. They need to remind him.
Hey, you know what? If they just would figure it out, you might even get a tight end target at some. No,
because we throw it over. I'm just kidding. I can't make a fan joke when Fan's not here. I just feel terrible.
That's it. That's mean, Coach. All right, Drennan, who are you going to shout out?
My mom and my dad. I mean, they usually just cut us slack around the house at football practice. Then after football, it kind of picks up a little bit. But they know that we go through a good bit of football. So they just kind of take it easy.
Look, Roman, your own dad's on here telling you you'll learn one day.
I'm always talking about coaches. I didn't know.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
How about everybody, Roman?
I always say my dad too.
Randy, you want to give Roman another shot at it since he didn't realize.
Redo it.
All right, hold on. Hey, Roman, we always do a section here at the end that you get to shout out. Whoever you want to shout out, more than one shout out. Who'd you like to shout out, Roman?
Oh, shout out my dad.
All right.
He does a lot for me.
You still ain't gonna get Chloe in this? Come on.
You still got to give a shout out to Coach Vann, too.
Chloe, I'm gonna shout you out. All right, shout out. All right, Coach Vann. Good week. Get back on the winning track, and last couple of weeks we've kind of had iffy Tuesdays. It sounds like we've had a good Tuesday in the weight on the practice field. That's good. That's a good sign for this week.
Really good sign. I'm excited. I'm just ready to get Thursday so we can get back on the field. I know these guys are just like me. They're ready to get this loss out of the way and try to find a way to get a win back on track. So, we're ready to go out there and just find a way to play hard and execute. And then you didn't even ask for my shout outs. I actually have a list right here I was going to shout out on that.
Coach, you got your shout outs right now.
No, seriously, over the last few weeks, I do want to thank everybody who's worked concession stand. And I'm sure Vann's the same way. We're thankful for the people who find that works during the game because you don't get to watch the game because we can't make money from the concession stand without you guys working. All the people who take up money, our chain gang, our quarterback club, man, the last 2 weeks has been a lot. We've had a lot to do. Everybody who's helped paint the field and set up cones for parking. There's a ton of stuff that goes on. We've had a bunch of people come through over the last 2 weeks through the stadium, and people who's cleaned and done everything. And I want them to know I'm thankful. Our coaching staff's thankful. Our players are thankful, and I know that this couldn't happen without you guys. And I just want them to know we're thankful for that. And that's a shout out. And as always, my wife and Kai. So, anyways, but yes, as you were saying, we're ready to play and try to find a way to get this loss off there.
Let's make sure we got shout outs in. Those are good ones. In what I do for my second job, quarterback clubs are my lifeline, and those people work hard, and I don't think we give them near enough credit. So that's a great one, Coach. I'm glad you said something. Let's make sure everybody realizes special time, special circumstances here. Let's make sure everybody knows when and where the game is, Coach.
So Glencoe, Thursday night, 7:00. Be there, be loud. We need you to be there. It was moved back a few weeks ago, and kind of my fault. I didn't put it out soon enough, but moved it because their fall break starts Friday. It has nothing to do with weather. It's because they have their fall break start Friday. He called and asked if I'd be willing to move it Thursday. I said absolutely, and so that's when we're playing the game. And we need a few Thursday night games. You never know in the playoffs when you get in the playoffs, and it's supposed to be bad on Friday if on Sunday or Saturday and before if they want to change it to Thursday. So you need to be able to have a few short weeks to prepare. And we're moving another one later in the year to be announced later, but till Thursday. But we've got to be good at preparing on a short week because you never know when weather or circumstances may arise in the playoffs that you may have to do that. And so that's good for us.
And Coach, like a lot of people like me that work Friday night, I know the guys from QSB called me immediately when we posted it and wanted to be able to go to your game. And they were like, did you just post that Sylvania plays Thursday night? And I was like, yeah. And they were excited. Maybe some people that don't get to see you get to be able to be out this week to watch you play on Friday night or Thursday night.
That's right. That'd be good. And like I said, we just want to see us take a step in the right direction this week and our keys and everything and just play good football. So.
Absolutely. Howie Cheney out tonight.
Yeah, Coach, do you mind if I add 2 more shout-outs to your list?
Adam, I forget quick anyways.
The water girls that takes care of the guys during timeouts. And also your ball boys headed by John Seals.
Yes, and our camera crew that films our butt shot and our side view. Thankful for them. We're about to add another view, drone view. And that reminds me, if there's anybody interested in running their camera, you can reach out to me because we need somebody to run it on Friday nights during the game because I need it. All you have to do is help run the camera. It won't take long to teach. It could be a high school kid, would be perfect that's interested. It could be somebody from school, or it could be a parent or anybody that's interested in doing it that's really good with technology and stuff because I need something to add to our view. So I'm going to try. I may have somebody in mind or that's willing to do it, but I need a backup and I can move people around because I just need one more filmer. It could be from the press box or it could be from that drone view. I just need an extra person, whether it be a student or any volunteer. And if you're interested, just reach out to me. You can find my number on Facebook or message me or whatever.
We added a drone view this year, Coach, and it does add something just to make sure spacing is correct, and a lot of things you don't see from the rear view or the side view, you can see from that drone view. Roman, Drennan, we appreciate tonight. Thank you very much for taking your time to be with us, and we'll be supporting you along the way. Hopefully, we'll get you back on the road this week to victory, and maybe back on here someday down the road. For Randall Cunningham, for Howie Cheney, for Coach Vann, you've been listening to the Coach Vann Show. We'll be back next week with all the highlights from Glencoe.